Hello, welcome to my channel. So excited that you are here and learning on how to stop the guilt and shame and free yourself from the past toxic cycles in relationships. And guilt and shame are really popular is what word came to me. They're common when in these toxic relationships and leaving these toxic relationships. And so I want to share with you, like, first, what's the difference between the two so that you fully know and understand. And then I want to show you how to stop the guilt and shame and free yourself from the toxic relationships. My name is Denise Kavalauskas. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I show up and help you transform your life and give you value so that you can heal from toxic relationships just like I did and live an amazing life. Like, whatever you want is waiting for you. So this is what excites me so much. And so, like I said, the first thing that I want to do is share with you the difference between shame and guilt, because a lot of people think I'm ashamed of something, but really they feel guilty about it. And so that's why it's important to know the difference between the two. So if you don't know the Map of Consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins, it is a map. It kind of looks like a funnel. So it's wide at the top, comes down. And he has muscle tested humans and logged these, by numbers, these emotions that we feel inside of us. And so shame and guilt are the two at the bottom. I wish I had a picture to show you. And once my YouTube channel grows, I will be able to show you a picture. But in the meantime, okay, so just imagine like a cone, and then it swirls down into like a upside down triangle. And so at the bottom, you have the last one is shame. And shame resonates at a 20. It is the lowest emotion that we can have. So let me explain what shame is. Shame and guilt are cousins, as Lisa Nichols explained so well. Shame is, I am ashamed of who I am, i.e., I feel like a piece of crap. That's what shame is. Shame is, I feel like a piece of crap. I'm ashamed of who I am. Shame. Okay? Guilt, on the other hand, is you feel guilty, which, by the way, guilt is 1 up from shame. It resonates at a 30. Okay, shame's 20, guilt's 30. So it's the second lowest emotion that you can carry. Guilt is, it's something that you did or didn't do in life. Like, I feel guilty that I did do this, so I feel bad because I did do this. Or I feel bad because I didn't do this, right? I should have done this, and so I feel guilty that I didn't do it. And that's guilt. So those are the two, that's the difference between shame and guilt. One is I feel like I'm a piece of crap. One is I feel bad for what I did or didn't do. Okay, that's the difference between the two, and that's why Lisa Nichols calls them cousins. Okay, so now you know the difference between what those two are, but they do go hand in hand. So how to stop the guilt and shame and free yourself from the past toxic relationships. Now that we know the difference between the two, let's talk about how you can stop these cycles, the shame and the guilt. So going back to the Map of Consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins. You can go on Google and you can get this map, the image. It comes from his book called Power versus Force, and he explains the entire thing. And so how do you stop it is, so when you look at the Map of Consciousness, and like I said, shame is at the bottom, then there's guilt, and then, so the best way for me to describe this to you is think of a ladder, and you're at the bottom of the ladder, and you have the ladder up against a house, and you need to get to the roof of the house. I don't know, it's fall, you need to clean the leaves, I don't know. How do you get from the bottom of the ladder to the top of the ladder? There's only one way to do this, step by step by step. That's the only way to do it, step by step by step. You can't hop from the bottom of the ladder to the top of the ladder and get to the roof. You can't. Same thing with our emotions. You need to peel, shed, and heal back the layers of everything that you feel ashamed about to get to the guilt. Once you get to the guilt, you do the process again. You peel, shed, and heal all of the layers that you feel guilty about. Now you rise up to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, until you get to, and when you see the map, you'll know what I'm talking about, love. Love, I think, is at a 540, resonates at a 540. Now, that's where we want to be, is at love and above, okay? So how do you stop the guilt and shame to free yourself from the past toxic cycles in these relationships? Is you have to go in and face these emotions. You have to face the shame that you feel about yourself, right? I know for years I felt guilty for staying in my relationship for so long because I stayed in that relationship for so long. My children went through emotional hell. Like, they saw, heard, and went through things that no child should have to ever go through. Seeing their dad the way he was, high on pills, seeing me react the way that I did, just the whole thing, I felt a lot of guilt around it. I thought, Denise, if you would have left earlier, then you would have eliminated all of this pain that your children had to go through. You can't go back. Things happen for a reason. As bad as they are, they happen for a reason. And when you go in and beat yourself up, it does nothing but take you into the lower levels of your vibration, of your emotions, and it keeps you in this cycle of just feeling more and more emotional pain. To sit here and think to myself, after all of these years, Denise, you're such a screw up. Why didn't you leave? And just go in and beat myself up. Why didn't you leave? You could have left at this point. You could have left at that point. You didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? That's all ego. That's all mind. The mind punishing you because that's just what it does. So in other words, it's useless. It doesn't serve you. You have to do the things for you that serve you into your highest level, the highest and the best version of who you are. And so when you can face that and say, okay, I stayed in the relationship because I felt like that was the right thing to do, trying to keep my family together. And yes, X, Y, and Z did happen, and it's terrible that it happened, but I thought I was doing the right thing at the time. Okay? There's no reason to beat yourself up. There absolutely is no reason. So how do you stop the guilt and shame and free yourself from the past toxic cycles? Is you face these emotions. You start with shame and what you feel ashamed about. Okay? You go to the guilt and what you feel guilty about, that you think you should or shouldn't have done. You face these emotions and you peel, shed, and heal them to get to the next level, climbing that ladder to get to the next one, so that you can keep climbing to be the best version of you. Because I promise you, once you heal from your past, you will never repeat the past, right? Once you heal the past, you'll never repeat the past. Ooh, that's a good quote. I'm going to use that because I used to use, when you complete the past, you won't repeat the past. All right. So again, this is the only way. It's the only way. You can't jump from the bottom of the house to the roof of the house in 3 steps or 2 steps. You have to go step by step by step by step. It's the only way. I wish there was a quick way, an easy way, but that's just not how we process things. That's not how our emotions go. And I promise you, it may feel or seem like it's going to take a long time, but it doesn't. Because here's the thing. Once you start to peel, shed, and heal back those emotions, then you feel lighter. Things around you are starting to show up, like the good things that you've been asking for. And so this motivates you to do more. And you're like, okay, then you start getting used to facing your emotions. It's not so scary. It's not so, what's going to happen? You're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to do whatever work it is that I need to do to face this so that I can, to let it go. So time goes really quick. So my journey is, in 2011, I left my ex for the first time in my life. I moved here to North Carolina, right? 3 states away from South Florida. 3 months later, after he did his whatever, we went back to Florida and we got back together, which lasted about 5 minutes. So then I was in Florida for 8 months. So then I came back here in 2012. Now, here's how my journey went. 2012 to 2013, I was working a job and all that stuff, right? Trying to figure myself out. I met the man of my dreams, who I'm married to now. But I didn't know that at the time in 2013. Did not know that. So here goes 2014. Well, the universe is always wanting to give you what you're asking for, okay? So 2014 comes and I hire my first business coach and I get into this 1-year program. And I'm so excited because like I'm getting the laptop life. And then in 2014, I go through this year, and at the end of 2014, I'm like, holy moly, I am feeling on top of the world. And now, mind you, I had not gone into my healing journey deeply, not as much as I was getting a little, it was a little bit in 2014. Now go 2015. My now husband and I start to date seriously, and I go into my my healing journey deep. I go into the deep emotional stuff. I go into all of those emotions that I was just telling you about, and I faced all of them. And so here's 2015, and oh my gosh, my life is starting. I mean, I get a brand new car, and I'm starting my business is going good, and this and that, and this is happening, and I'm in this relationship with this man that is, for the first time in my life, it's healthy. We're not arguing. There's no toxicity. It's insane. And then I go into 2016. Every year gets better than the last. Every year is better than the last. And so by the end of 2017, see how quick time goes by? He proposes to me. We're engaged. He proposes to me on a beautiful, it was December 31st, New Year's Eve in Florida, in St. Pete Beach. And now I'm engaged. And so then we plan this. I mean, just time goes. My point to sharing all of that with you is like, once you start the process, it doesn't seem so long because things are showing up in your life. It's like, it's almost like there's this block that you have because you're not going in deep and healing the past. And so you can't get past this until you face it. And then once you open up the gates, all this stuff comes in. Then time is just like, whoa. I mean, we had a 2.5-year engagement and boom, the wedding came. It was so beautiful. We had it in the middle of a pandemic, and now it happened. It happened in June. So my point is, don't be afraid to face it. And how do you stop the guilt and shame and free yourself is to face those emotions. Give yourself that attention that you so deserve, okay? Love yourself. Be patient and kind with yourself. If you need help with this, I'm gonna leave my contact information, which is the link to my schedule where we can get on a Heal Your Heart session, in the description below. Also in the description, you can connect with me on Facebook, Instagram. I think I put Twitter in there. I don't know, but there's links in there for you. Please, also, if you like this video, if it gave you any value, like it, comment, subscribe. You can do all 3, which would be amazing. And thank you so much. Or you could do one of the 3. Totally up to you. But I'm grateful for all of it. And I'm grateful for you even just being here and listening. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know any topics that you would like me to cover. And if you're interested in getting on a Heal Your Heart session, I'll leave a link in the description along with some other contact information, and have a wonderful day. Bye.